to be here tonight to have a Hall of Fame induction into the Mariposa Folk Foundation Hall of Fame. It's not something that we do every year, but tonight we have 3 inductees. So the mission of the Mariposa Folk Foundation is the promotion and preservation of folk art in Canada through song, story, dance, and craft. We recognize the many supporters for their long-term dedication and commitment to the betterment of the Mariposa Folk Foundation, but not just Mariposa, to the folk industry in general. And these inductees have a long, long history of, I'm a newbie compared to them. They have a long history of a contribution to Mariposa and to folk. Next up, we have Sharon, Lois, and Bram. And you saw them at 5 o'clock, and I think you saw them earlier today on the Sunshine stage. So we also have a short interview clip with them.
What are your favorite memories of Mariposa?
A special Mariposa memory for me is the children's area, which Lois and I created, basically. And the audiences that came to the children's area were huge because we had the best singers, best performers who were performing on other stages came and did their stuff at the children's area.
And I remember Pete Seeger in the children's area at Mariposa. I remember Bessie Smith from the Georgia Sea Islands.
Absolutely.
In the children's area.
All the time.
And people who were, you know, first-rate, big stars on the adult stage coming in and sharing what they knew with the children and their families. And that was great.
It was such good fun.
Mariposa as a festival, what to you is the best thing about Mariposa?
It's just a wonderful place to be. Just the atmosphere there is so great.
Try that one.
My memories of Mariposa are more as an audience than as a performer. I went for many years with a group of friends, and we had our Mariposa tree. And we'd put our picnic lunches there, and we'd gather there. And so people would come and go from our tree. So for me, the memory of the variety of musical experiences, the dancing and the singing and the range of musical experiences was so significant.
Chickie and she wouldn't lay an egg, so I drove my bus up and down her leg. Little chickie cried and a little chickie baked, and the gosh darn chickie laid a bus today.
Well, I had another chickie and she wouldn't lay an egg, so I poured red paint up and down her leg. The little chickie cried and the little chickie baked, and the gosh darn chickie laid a deviled egg.
You know, sometimes when you sing that song, some magic happens.
1 bottle of pop, 2 bottle of pop, 3 bottle of pop, 4 bottle of pop.
Fish and chips and vinegar, pepper, pepper, pepper salt. Donkey walk, donkey prance, but most of all he loved to dance.
I say it's true, you belong in the zoo, 'cause all of the monkeys, they look like you.
How does it feel to Sharon, Lois and Bram to be inducted into the Mariposa Hall of Fame?
Mariposa has been important to both of us. We cut our teeth in many ways there, both as audience and as performers. It feels like home. That's why we're so proud to be here today.
Mariposa has been significant in my life and our lives, Lois's life also, very much so. And to be honored by a community that is, as Bram said, like family, is remarkable for us. And so it's an honor to be recognized in your own community, a great honor.
It began at Mariposa in the 1970s. For over 40 years, the trio toured Canada and the United States, sharing their wholesome and eclectic style of music with children, their parents, and their grandparents. All 3 members are members of the Order of Canada. They've received a myriad of awards and accolades, including Folk Music Canada's Estelle Klein Award, you know, our Estelle Klein stage, named after a former director of the Mariposa Folk Festival, the Queen's Golden and Diamond Jubilee medals. Sharon was a solo performer in 1963, 1965, 1976, 1978. Sharon and Bram were part of Mariposa's 50th anniversary roster in 2010, and Bram once again played as a solo performer in 2015. Both Lois and Sharon were key players in starting folk play, the children's area at the festival in the mid-70s. All three were heavily involved in the spin-off of Mariposa in the Schools program in Toronto in the 70s and early 80s. Their influence on children and their parents cannot be underestimated. As a duo of Sharon and Bram make their final musical tour, this is where their incredible partnership started over 40 years ago. And it's sad to know that Lois is no longer with us, but we're most honored to have Sharon and Bram with us.
Thank you very much. That's a lovely tribute, and we appreciate it. Lois would be over the moon thrilled, and her son David and granddaughter Tessa, they wanted to be here, but we're not able to organize it. They live in the States. But she loved Mariposa. We loved the children's area. She loved being part of this, and we had a dream career. We're very, very fortunate, and we really appreciate this honor. We did not do this alone. We did this with a lot of friends and colleagues and people who helped us over many, many years. The musicians who played with us today and are here with us and have been with us for 25, 30, 35 years. And the musicians who worked with us on our records, and Paul Mills, who produced so many of them. Lots of tributes we've received, lots of support we received. So thank you for this. I hope I left.
Well done, Bram. We wouldn't be here without having learned from people who are of the generations older than we are.
That's something to be older than us.
That's something to be older than we are, as Sharon says. We stand on the shoulders of giants, and we are vessels that we pass things along. We didn't invent it. We took it, we shaped it to suit us, and we passed it along to you. And we are so delighted that we find that you are passing it along to your young folk, and will continue to do so. And my last thing to say is, look around you. Look at this crowd. This is fantastic. Thank you.
Thank you. Let's give a big hand to the 2019 inductees into the Mariposa Hall of Fame.